Now, for more on the winners and losers of Super Bowl 50 ads, we are joined by Ian Wishingrad of the BigEyedWish agency, which advises on Super Bowl ad campaigns. Ian, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, and happy Chinese New Year.
Thank you. Well, let's start with the ad that we just saw. It won, basically, according to the industry, it was the best ad of Super Bowl 50. Do you agree?
No, I would argue it's not according to the industry, it's according to the USA Today ad meter. And if you look what happened, Kevin Hart asked people, will you vote for my ad? And I think you'll see in business a lot of times when you ask, will you help me out? They did so, and the voters spoke.
Okay, so it helped that it had a celebrity in the ad. We've seen a lot of celebrities in Super Bowl ads. Does it help because they have an innate following? I mean, Kevin Hart has 25 million Twitter followers. So do you automatically get votes for your ad if you have a celebrity?
If the point of your ad is to win the USA Today ad meter, then you get puppies, babies, and celebrities. That always seems to work.
Okay, now you mentioned puppies. I have to ask this. I didn't see any cats in any Super Bowl ads. And okay, 36% of Americans have a dog, but 30% have cats. Why are cats so underrepresented? I'm
not sure. You know, as someone who is not an owner of either pet, I can't speak on that. But I can tell you that dogs are it's a different, they're a little more playful, and I think there's more emotion there. And then there's that kind of a broader reach with a dog.
Okay, now we did see a very popular wiener ad,
great.
Dog, right, for the Heinz.
Yeah.
Do you think that ad worked, and why was it successful? I mean, yes, a lot of people are talking about it, but is it also successful for the brand?
100%. So just, which is really interesting, Heinz is considered the one brand in the world people can never live without. They'll cut and go store brand on everything except Heinz ketchup. And there's something really incredible about that brand, and the fact that it was meant to be fun. It has 99% awareness. You're not trying to tell people about it. You're just trying to remind them that, hey, we don't take ourselves too seriously, and let's have a good time.
Okay, so what does make a Super Bowl ad, though, a success or not a success? I mean, but inherently the fact that they're getting 100 million viewers or more, doesn't it automatically mean it's a success because so many people have seen it?
So I'd say two things. Number one, is it entertaining? Now, entertainment doesn't just mean comedy. Entertainment could be more serious, drama, but is it entertaining is one thing that the consumers tend to care about. From a business standpoint, is it changing people's minds? Is it driving sales? And then we'll only know probably within the next couple weeks or months to really figure out which one was most effective. Okay, and we're talking about $5 million for a 30-second spot, plus the cost of producing an ad. So big bucks being spent on these. How do you get the results of your return on investment? I mean, you said it's sales, but how can you really sort of show that it was that ad that drove those sales? Well, usually, I mean, TV is still one of the most powerful media to see an exact lift when you see your spend and right immediately after. So, but I think when you do Super Bowl right, it is the most amazing platform in the entire world. But the stakes are so high, everyone's bringing out their best stuff. May the best one win. Okay, so is it really just about sales, though, or is it also about, searches of the brand? Is that play a role as well? So I'd say on these bigger ticket items, you can't just assume everyone's going to run out the next day and go buy a car or switch insurance or start this. But I think you could start to see with now, you could check Google searches, leads generated. Are people getting interested in it? Crumbs that lead to the bigger ticket sale.
Okay, let's talk also about what was your favorite ad. What do you think was the most successful one?
My favorite ad, I think, was a film. I think that Audi commercial, Commander, that was a film.
It helped that it had a David Bowie song on there.
For sure, but I mean, that made it relevant and timely now, but I mean, the way it was shot, the filmic nature of it, the story, I mean, there was a real story there, and it changes. I'd like to say, like, Audi has 4 rings, and that gave it a halo 5th. And I think that's going to do really well for the brand across all their makes, not just that beautiful, out-of-reach, expensive one.
And obviously, I mean, when you're making an ad, you have to be thinking of who your audience is, correct? So with Heinz, it's a bit more lighthearted. With Audi, which is a more sophisticated customer, is that why you think they went with that route?
Well, I think what they tried to do was, Audi's always been coming up on the heels now of Mercedes and BMW, so it's really important to kind of play in that sphere. You use your most expensive, best sexy car, and that provides a halo across the entire brand. Okay,
and in terms of what you think was the least successful or least effective ad, which one would it be?
There was one for Persil detergent. It was like a Me Too ad. It was 15 seconds long, and it felt like just a TV commercial I would skip any other day, let alone on the Super Bowl.
So even though maybe 100 million people saw that ad, because it was sort of forgettable, then it was seen as a failure for them? I mean, it was not worth the money for them to spend?
No, I'd say it was a failure for them because the strategy of detergent is off. So detergent's actually gone now to talking about odor, and they were talking about stains. I think consumers have moved on from that. So they're blasting out a message that isn't exactly what people need.
Okay, and let's look big picture. Overall, what did you think of the ads that we saw this year compared to other ads? I mean, we saw a lot of comedy. Last year, it was more, pull your heartstrings kind of ads.
Yep.
Does comedy work the best? And overall, how would you rate the ads this year?
So I think people hope for incredible comedy. I think the best comedy will always be what's most memorable, but not always the most effective. I think this year was just kind of disappointing. I think the game was kind of disappointing. The ads were kind of disappointed. And that's
Okay,
about it.
I have to, that Anthony Hopkins ad, though.
That was really
pretty
good.
funny.
That was great. That was done by one of the best agencies in the world. That was a really clever use of celebrity, not gratuitous. And I thought it was a really clever, high concept. That will do really well for them.
Okay, so we can agree on that one.
Yep.
Together. All right. Thank you so much, Ian.
Thank you for the
Thanks
time.
for your insights.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
That was Ian Wishingrad of the Big Eyed Wish Agency, which advises on the Super Bowl ad campaign.